Hey guys, and welcome to the last coding challenge of the year. First of all, just before we start, I want to say a massive thanks to those who've contributed over the year. I think this has been a fairly successful idea, sort of doing the monthly coding question, and of course these will carry on back in January. So, let's go through our final question of the year. What you're given is a string that looks a little bit like this here, so we have just normal words with spaces as delimiters, and each word has a number stuck to the end. So we have 2, 3, 1, and 4. Your job is to rearrange this string and effectively order it according to the numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That determines the order upon which you order. So Python's first, programming is next, is next, then nice is last. So given this, can you output this? And we had a couple of submissions this month. So let's first go for Billy T83. First of all, thanks for submitting this, and also thanks so much for documenting each line. That's really useful. So, first step, I'm going to quickly move this one down here. Just run your code. First of all, make sure it works, which I'm sure it does. There we go. Python programming is nice. And now let's take a look at what you've done. So we've first of all saying, define an empty list called pairs. And we're then processing each word / number. So for item in s.split. Okay. Right, so this s.split here, that's going to basically take this as individual items. So this for loop is effectively looking at each individual word. And then what we're doing here, this word equals this.join. So we're creating an empty string, and we're effectively saying this empty string is now going to contain all of this here. Now, character for character and item, if not, is digit. Okay. I'm going to quickly print this off here. So basically you're capturing the letters in this one, it looks like. Yeah, there we go. Programming is Python. Nice. Yeah, cool. That looks good. You could have also used is alpha here and then got rid of the not as well, but using not is digit is fine. Let's take a look at number. And this has just got rid of the... Let's have a look. So you've passed it into int to make it into an actual numerical value. That's good. And we have the not missing. So this is going to be capturing the number, it looks like. Yeah, there we go. 2, 3, 1, and 4. Okay, so you have the word and the number as separate entities. You are then appending these pairs to this list here. So if I go to the end of your, there we go, end of your loop, try and get the indentation in the correct place, and print off pairs. We'll move this up ever so slightly. There we go. Cool, that's pretty good. So you've now got a list of tuples, where each tuple consists of the individual word, put the number at the end as well. So yeah, it looks cool. And then finally we're doing this here. Now this is quite funky. You're joining word for number word in sorted pairs. Okay, right, so let's see. So sorted pairs, that's going to be basically looking at each tuple, and what I imagine is going to be happening here is it's sorting it according to the number at the front. So you're iterating over each tuple, so in this case 2 programming. So number would represent 2, 3, 1, and 4, and then words just represent the words here. And you're then just returning that and joining it in here. So yeah, that looks really cool. So you're basically iterating over everything, separating the words and the numbers, appending them both, and then sorting the rearranged, well, you're sorting the list of tuples at the end to rearrange them. So one more time, we'll run that. There you go. Get a nice string back at the end. Looks good. So up next we have Ross K. Graham. That's a name I recognise from a few submissions. Again, really, really nice, consistent, clean coding. And this looks incredibly functional. You've got this nice list comprehension here. And it's a pretty short, concise solution. This looks really cool. Let's run it first, shall we? It says print, rearrange string. I'm giving you the same input as the previous one. Yeah, looks good. That seems to work. And there's a fair bit going on here, isn't there? So let's see. For word in s.split, okay, so you're starting the same as the previous solution, and then you're then capturing the index of the first digit. I think you can assume it's always at the end, but I think this is a good idea. Index of first digit, so you're saying the minimum of the following. And this bit here, index for index letter. Okay, yeah, so you're iterating over the entire string, and then you're finding the position of where the number is, effectively, this looks like. So if I did print index, let's put this in here. So envision what it's going to be finding is where the 2, the 3, the 1, and the 4 is. You're finding the positions of where those are. We hit run, so we get 11, 2, 6, and 4. Yeah, that would correspond, which looks good. Okay, so now you've found out where the index of that digit is. We're then saying words.append, so you're adding to this guy here. a few different things. So you're adding this and then this here. This looks like, in fact, I'm going to grab this separately actually. Let's grab this guy. This is quite complex. This looks good. Let's clear that and run. Oh no, you know what I've done? I've done one too many. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay, 2, 3, 1, and 4. Okay, cool, that looks good. Let's also, in the same print statement, pass in... No, too far. There we go, that's the one. Just this bit here. And we'll put that... Hopefully no syntax errors this time. Okay, cool, so I can see what you're doing here. So you're... Okay, this looks pretty cool. So you've paired Python in 1, 2 programming, 3 is, and then 4. Nice here. Okay, that's pretty cool. So in a sense, it's a little bit similar to this one. So you're basically kind of pairing each of the individual words along with the positions which they appear. It's just that the method of kind of splitting apart the word and the letter or the index is different. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like this. And then finally, okay, you've used join as well. So you've done word for underscore word. The underscore, by the way, people don't know, we tend to use this if we need to iterate over something, but we don't want to use the values. In this case here, this looks like you've done this for the index, I'd imagine. Yes, that's going to go over the index here. Word for underscore word in sorted words. So this sorted function is basically going to sort by these numbers at the front. And you've returned it around the empty string. So that's why you get at the end. Python programming is nice. But yeah, that's really cool. I like the use of the for loop. I like the use of this comprehension at the end as well. You've done this sort of nice underscore. It's really cool. Python conventions. Yeah, just nice, really clean, simple, cool written code. I really enjoy this. So yeah, Ross K. Graham, thanks very much. I appreciate the entries over the last couple of months, and I hope they continue in the new year. Okay, what I'm going to do, really quickly to kind of round the video off, I'm going to grab this here. I'm going to do this without the function. Just kind of go through maybe how I would do this, make sure nothing else is running. Nope. Okay, so we have our, let's call this unsorted to begin with. And the way I'll do this, I'm going to always assume that the number is in the last position. I'm going to use, let's see, I think we could potentially do this in one line. So let's give this a try. Let's call this sorted word here. And let's just build up to it kind of piece by piece. So I'll just do this to kind of keep hold of it for the time being. So put this in here. Now, the first thing I'm going to want to do is, like, if you just tried to sort this, you know, there's no individual words yet. It's a single string containing lots of different stuff. If we use a split function, we can basically transform this into 4 individual bits. So let's just try that first. Let's do unsorted.split. I want to print it at every step to show you what's happening. And let's hit run. Okay, cool. That looks good. We now want to do sorted. Now, this isn't going to sort correctly yet, but I'll show you what I'm going to do in just a second. So at the moment when we do this, because we're sorting the list of strings, it's going to, like, by default, look to the front of the string. And in this case, see how it's done it alphabetically here. So I, N, P, and then P. That's cool, that's sorting, but we don't want it to do the sorting in that way. So what we can do is say, here's a key, and this key determines how you're going to be sorting things. You can pass in a function here. So we can say lambda, let's just say WO for word, and then whatever's returned here, this is how the sorted function is going to look at the sorting. So if we say WO, representing each word, WO, do square brackets, -1. This -1 means it's going to look at the last thing in the string, and just make sure it sort of does sort of correctly. We'll make that into an integer here and hit run. Okay, yeah, Python programming is nice. So now we've got the order correct. We don't quite have it the way we want, but we can see the ordering is fine here. Now this might get perhaps a bit gnarly for a single line, but let's try it anyway. What you can do, if I did map here, map is a function which takes a sequence of things and sends all those things through a function. So we have a function here, but we need to send all this through a function. So what I can do is quickly write func at the front here. And that's the syntax, but we need to replace func with something to actually put all of this through. And in this case, if I did something like lambda, let's say, I don't know, full, actually no, this is going to be really big, isn't it? So let's do x instead, keep it short, and then say everything up until the last position, like this. So take your lambda, put this guy in here. Now this won't return anything nice, it should return a map object. There we go, map object. Then I think what you can do is do, no, not that. If we do .join, now I think this has to be a space here. Just quickly check. Yeah, there we go. It needs to be a space as well. Clear that and run it again. There we go. Yeah, so that works, but yeah, I don't know. That's quite gnarly. I think for readability, I would probably break this up. I think these are definitely clearer solutions. But yeah, you can do it if you want to be kind of really, fancy and functional. Use 2 lambdas, sorted, and join. You could. But yeah, I think, again, it depends on kind of what your style of programming is. I quite enjoy the kind of one-liner functional style. But yeah, that's just my take on it. Again, guys, just want to say thanks very much. Hope you all have a great Christmas or time off over the winter season. And I'll see you all back in the new year. Cheers.